Welcome back to From Healing to Becoming. This is my morning. This is the morning session. Listen, y'all. So I'm reflecting, right? And I'm reflecting on my own healing and my own becoming, right? And so I'm reflecting on the trans community and like how some of the backlash that women get, biologically born women, XX chromosome, right? From the trans community. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, like when it, there are sometimes I get so offended, when I see some of those things. But then it really forced me to kind of start reflecting, right? Like I can remember the time, again in my own healing, and especially being, I guess, what you would call a devout Christian at the time, right? Because as a Christian, you try to hold on to your faith. Like I believe that God have a natural order and a natural flow to things, right? There's a natural divine order, to God's creation. And so as a Christian, sometimes it's hard to reconcile that with a world that's changing before you and is different than what your faith and what your beliefs have always been, right? And so in my younger years, child, I don't send so many of y'all to hell. I'm laughing now, y'all, but look, I done sent so many of y'all to hell. The LGBTQ plus community, I don't send so many of y'all to hell. So thank God I don't have a heaven or a hell to put nobody in. But I'm looking at, so I'm reflecting, right? And so I believe people, people gonna love who they love. They're gonna be with who they be with. It is what it is. And so, but I still try to reconcile. But this is the natural divine order of things. But it's showing this. And what forced me to reconcile that is like the natural divine order of things is a man and a woman in how we procreate, right? And so sometimes, it's not as easy, the natural order of a man inserting himself into a woman and planting his seed, right? That natural order of things may not work when there's a fertility issue where they might need to get where a woman may need a sperm donor and she can still procreate, right? Or when where it may needs to be like IVF, right? Where they put the egg and the sperm in a dish. That's IVF, right? And then you have the implantation, then you have surrogacy. So there's just so many different things, right? And so if I were to hold on to the natural order of things, there would be so many families who would not have children. Okay. So I've reconciled that, right? That's all of this is a part of my own becoming. Um so the latest trigger that I've been having is the trans community. You know, saying I'm just as much woman as y'all are. Like to me, I mean, I'm telling you, I've had the offense of they're misogynistic, um, with their hatred towards women. Um, they're delusional or trying to make me seem delusional because they're saying that they're the same as me when they're not. I'm double X chromosome, they XY, they don't have the experiences and all of this stuff, right? So all, just feeling all these triggers, but I'm sitting down and I'm reflecting on the trans community and God, faith, the natural order of things. And as humanity and creation continues to unfold, I had to recognize that God is greater than me. And even the word of God says, lean not to your own understanding. My human intellect can only go so far, right? So I can't just lean to my own understanding. Things are constantly evolving. Lean not to your own understanding. Let me go all the way back. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. So that's what I have to rely on. Trusting God, right? Because you have this thing, oh, if it ain't God, it's the devil. It's the enemy. The enemy is trying to um be an imitation of God. This stuff is satanic, right? Some things are, but is everything satanic, right? So I started reflecting on the trans community and just looking at just wondering as I'm reflecting, right? That's just my opinion. Are is the trans community being authentic to themselves? I feel like they're trying to be like biological women because that's the closest thing that they know to identify themselves with. They know that they can't identify with the biological man. So the closest that they see will be the biological woman that they identify with and seek acceptance from. When they should not be trying to identify with what we all traditionally know. We know that's male, we know that's female, right? And the trans is trying to identify with what they traditionally see instead of being who they are. Could the trans community be their own entity? And the conflict is coming because you can only you're looking at this is what I'm supposed to be. And the XX chromosome is saying you're not us. We're not the same. And there's anger. So maybe could the trans community be struggling in being their own unique entity? And it's hard because there's nothing that they see in modern time that mirrors that? Like, as we're evolving, as God's creation is evolving. Now, I'm not here to say if it's the devil, if it's God, none of that. I trust in the Lord with all my heart. I'm not leaning to my own understanding. In all my ways, I am acknowledging Him, and He is directing my path. I don't understand because, I don't know everything, but I just wonder if the trans community is their own human entity, like the biological woman is a like a entity. Men, biologically born men, is an entity, and a gay man like still fits in the entity of a gay man, right? A gay woman still fits in the entity of women. But could trans be their own entity? And it's a struggle. Like they're trying to be like, instead of being who, like their own powerful selves. Could we be on the brink of like a new evolution in humanity? Like, and as I'm sharing this, like my old self is in the background preaching. What you saying? That's not of God. That is not of God. That's the enemy, woman of God. You got to speak for y'all. I'm still becoming. But at least I have enough sense to know that I'm still becoming, right? Because the old things have passed away. Even my old mindset, even how I used to see things. See, this is why I created From Healing to Becoming. Because we all go through our healing and we all become, right? So I'm just trying to, that's something like, what about y'all? Like, have y'all thought about, could the trans community, could they have been a hidden form of humanity out of fear? And they have spent centuries of trying to fit in what was more accepted instead of being the humanity that always existed but was hidden. And so now that they're being enlightened and awakened in their own becoming, it creates, it's creating conflict because they don't fully understand how to be their true authentic self, their true authentic selves, because they're trying to be like and be accepted by when they don't have that to do. All they have to do is be their entity. Like, have they been a hidden form of humanity? That's seeking their own evolution but don't know how to do it, and they keep identifying with trying to identify with what exists or not identifying with what exists when they're like they're unique and powerful if they just embrace who they are without trying to be identified with what already exists. See, this is my own thing because I can't reconcile within myself, because then it becomes delusional for me to say a trans woman is the same as the biological woman, because we know that's not true. It's just not true, right? So are they cheating themselves by trying to identify with a biological woman when that's not what they're supposed to be doing? They're supposed to be evolving as their own human entity. So the world is no longer male, female. The world then becomes male, female, trans. And all three is seen just like a male and a female is seen and accepted by society. Male, female, trans would have that same equality and be accepted by society. I don't know, but I do know the answer is not me getting mad or offended. It's probably more about me having compassion and really trying to understand and really have peace and hold on to, you know, what I believe to be true in my spirit and understanding my own embedded theology, right? So anyway, y'all, that's just my little morning talk. What do y'all think about this? What are y'all thoughts? Like, is creation evolving? And is there another entity that have been that has been hidden? All right, y'all. Hold up. Let me be very, very clear about something. I accept people for who they are. Child, I don't care who you sleep with, what you doing, how you doing. This bed that I'm laying in right now is the only one I can police, child. This the only bed I can police. Okay. But I really don't care. Like, I really truly don't care. People love who they love, right? So I don't care. I have no judgment. Child, I'm accepting. I'm looking at your character. I don't care who you choose as a sexual partner. I'm looking at your character. One of my good friends, you know, her and her partner, child. I hope I be in the wedding, child. I'm trying to be in the wedding, but yeah, child, I don't care. I'm looking at your character. Are you kind? Are you nice? I don't care. I don't have the words in my intellect to describe how much I do not care about people's sexuality and who they choose to love. I'm looking at your character. Can I trust you? Are you good people? Like, that's what I'm looking at. I don't care about all that other stuff. Mm-mm.